Hello everybody, welcome back to Crazy Brave 6913. Today's video we're going to be working on something, well, actually not even working on, pretty much just finishing up the rainbow skull. I've seen it on my table just sitting here collecting dust, and I'm finally able to get back to work on it and give it the proper attention that it needs to get the details that I want to put into it. The last time I believe you guys saw this skull, it was still pretty much just the gray clay on top. I think I could just close the top of the head as well. At this point, it's already painted. The crayons are already attached. It's already put on its own little grass area and its own little thing to make it look a little bit more, I guess, like it's like won't be rolling around whoever decides to purchase this. And mentioning about who ends up purchasing this, whoever you are or whoever it is that is interested in getting this, know that everything that I make off of this skull is going to go into a donation. I still haven't made up my mind where I'm going to be donating the money from the proceeds from this skull to. I think so far I've made like 3 or 4 other ones, and I've also donated everything that I made off of those skulls. So, maybe. Anyway, as you can see, it's kind of dusty. Very, very dusty, kind of hairy as well, because Ghost's hair has been getting floating around in my room. I need to kind of dust it out. The eyes, I need to clean them so you can be able to see your reflection, your own eyes on there. Those are mirrors inside the eyes, so whenever you stare at it, there's a certain angle that your own eyes fill in the mirrors. All of this is going to get fixed. All of this is going to get done at the end of this video. If you are interested in purchasing this, my socials are going to be down below. Send me an email. I'm going to be advertising it as well as on there. And let's get to work on the skull. The batteries. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take the skull off, actually, and clean this base part off because it is very gross. So let's clean that off. I feel like a year's worth of dust. All right, it's already looking better. Let's put this skull back on here. Boom. And I think the only thing I'm going to be using to clean this is a new piece of new napkin. The same brush that I just used, which is an old makeup brush that I stole from Dea. And maybe some water if I need it, which I'm not going to try to use the water, but it's there if I need it. I'm going to try to be very careful in this area right here because I don't want to mess up any of these swirls and spikes. Hopefully it doesn't end up collecting dust again waiting for somebody to buy it. Because I do not want to clean it. I actually didn't want it to stay here for that long because I don't have space for it. I'm gonna go ahead and continue cleaning this, and I'll show it to you whenever I am done because there's gonna be a lot of dusting, and I want to put some music on it. You know how YouTube is about that. So give me 1 second. Let me dust this off, and if I need to use any napkins or water, I'll let you know how that goes. The cleaning of the skull is done, and we're gonna move on to the next thing, which I think is gonna be clean the eyes. You can see it on this one over here, that there's a hole on the eye socket, and right behind that hole is a mirror. And when I was spray painting the skull, some of the spray paint got into the little hole and it painted the mirror. I'm gonna try to clean that off with some of the cleaner I got with the airbrush machine, and hopefully that works. I'm gonna take my time on that because the mirrors that are back there are kind of a little flimsy, so you don't want to be poking your finger in there and poking the mirror. So I'm going to be in there really lightly, hopefully saturating that area to get some of that paint off, and not unglue the mirrors. That is the one thing I need to be careful with this part right here. So I'm going to set up for that, and maybe I'll show you a little bit of what that looks like whenever I'm doing it. Okay, and so it's been maybe about 2-3 minutes, and I've been working at this eye right here. It's working. I just have to keep working at it patiently and not get a lot of this, I guess it's paint thinner, right? into the actual skull and just on the mirror itself. But it's really working. I'm very surprised. I don't have to apply so much pressure, and it's really cleaning it out. I am very glad that this is working. You kind of see a reflection now, right? Oh shit. All right. So let me work on the other one, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as it's done. I clean out the eyes. I don't want to continue cleaning them out anymore because I don't want to get any more liquid in there or any more of the paint thinner in there, because it's actually taking a little bit of the paint off, and it's also moistening the paper clay, and it's kind of coming off. So I think I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Maybe hit it up again later, or before anybody buys it. I'll just clean it up a little bit more. I don't remember that being there. I'm gonna have to go back and check. I'm gonna have to fill this in with some hot glue and get it nice and perfectly and smooth so it's not all bumpy, and then paint the hot glue black. Right, so that's one. I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry, and then coming in for a second pass to make it a little bit more smooth. That was kind of just to fill in the gap in between. I don't think it's falling apart. I think maybe I just measured wrong when I applied, and yeah, well, you know, that's what you get whenever you're just kind of shooting by the hip here. You see this little crack that's going around the whole skull? That is the crack that was made when I detached the top of the skull to the bottom so I could put the flower in. And the lights. I'm gonna have to go in with some paper mache clay and fill it in. After it dries, I'm gonna paint it white, and then that's it. The skull is done. There's nothing else left to do on this skull besides getting some new batteries. So clay is done. I've been filling in the crack I've been talking about. I hope you could tell what crack I'm talking about. Now is this one right here. I need to work my way all the way around carefully. This area right here obviously is going to be very tricky. I'm probably going to be using this tool to get in there. And I'm not even going to worry about the back of the flower because I'm not going to be able to get back there. So just fill in that line and let it dry. And maybe we'll start working on the next one. Talking about that. So it's the next day, and as you can see right around here is where I added the clay. It's already dry. All I have to do now is paint it white. I usually sand down the paper clay a little bit more so it could be more smooth. But since it's already pretty much done, I don't want to get any dust inside of it. I'm just going to leave it as is. You might be wondering here a little bit why the screen looks a little bit different. That is because I made it possible to be able to go live. So if everything goes according to plan, I should have my first live on February 3rd. I really don't have a time on when I'm going to be doing it or how often, because it is paper mache clay and a lot of it is drying. Pretty much all of it is going to be made on live. The only thing that is going to be skipped is the actual paper part. I really don't want to start with the paper part because then it's just going to be a lot of waiting. This is done, so all I have to do is just draw the design on top of it and start working with the clay. So that should be a better episode than just watching me layer paper and waiting for it to dry. I hope you guys tune in, and I hope to see you guys there to see another skull come to life. As you can see, that gray line has disappeared. All I have to do now is add a little bit of Mod Podge, and it's done. We're done with this skull. And I like adding this stuff because it makes it shiny. This one I'm not so careful as well because it looks like it's white paint, but once it dries out, it turns transparent. And we are done. This is done. Finally, I could start another project. And, well, let me show you the next screen. Ooh, right. That's the setup so far. This is the camera. This is the work area. This is my laptop camera. And this is me signing off. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching this. I know it was kind of all over the place, and it was not really much updates. It was kind of like a touch and go kind of thing. And like I said, the next skull is gonna be live. So come on, go on there, go watch it, ask some questions. Maybe you'll start getting into paper mache. Who knows? Okay, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one.